automate your business, or if you don't have a business, how to do it. I always got lots of stuff going on at the house. Got all kinds of entrepreneurs over here. Some people from gonna be on Shark Tanks, celebrity stylists. Got all kinds of some people from Germany over here. Keep your house exciting. That's the lesson. Boom, boom. What's up, Facebook, Meerkat, Periscope? Who wants to build an automated business? If you do, I'm going to be showing you 7 ways to do it. 7 ways to do it right now. How you can start in the next 30 days. And you can do it for a lot less money than most people think. A lot less. We got my board. There we go. I'm going to pull this up. We're going live in 4 places: YouTube, Periscope, Facebook, Meerkat. Now, a couple things that I'm going to say here. I'm going to go relatively quick. We got an hour and a half. I'm going to be done with everything. You're going to know the code. Somebody said, Ty, these are 2 a.m. live calls. It's not 2 a.m. in California. Yeah. If you're on Meerkat and you can't see or something like that, switch over to my Facebook, Tai Lopez Official. Are we sending out the reminders for the website, Maya? Yeah. Okay. 7 ways. To build automated online biz for yourself. How do you do it? Rule number 1. Why are we going online with it? Because a lot of people have ideas. They want to start restaurants. They want to start franchises. They have an invention. They have some. They're musicians. People have all kinds of ideas, but I think it's common knowledge, although not everybody realizes it, that everything you do, you need to be online. Why? It needs to be online centric. Whatever you do, in my opinion. Almost everything. There's obviously a few businesses this doesn't apply to. But online centric means that your primary focus is reaching 7.3 billion people. There's never been a time, if you go back in history 10 years ago, you could not reach 7.3 billion people no matter what you did. Nothing. You could try every single thing known to mankind. You couldn't do it. But because of technology and because of the widespread use specifically of smartphones, iPhones, Androids, you now can reach an audience that's 10x anything that your parents or grandparents could do. It's very, very important that you understand that, because a lot of people know the internet's important, but they don't realize how important it is. How important. It's 10 times more important than the average person realizes. So when I think about any business, any idea, like I'm getting ready to launch a nutritional supplement drink. Most people in the world, especially America, they get too many calories, and the calories they do get is crappy calories. So the idea is a concentrated drink that you drink once a day whenever you're normally eating junk food. So if you normally eat junk food at 8 p.m. at night, you take this drink, this replaces it at 8 p.m. If you eat horrible at 2 in the morning or when you're at work, you bring this meal replacement shake. Now, a meal replacement shake, I could make it a business that's focused primarily selling at Walmart or primarily selling at grocery stores. And you see a lot of meal replacement shakes doing that. The problem is, what's the recent news about Walmart? They're closing stores down. Walmart is having a hard time competing with Amazon. Why? Because Amazon is online centric. And so Amazon has a competitive edge. Lower costs, higher potential revenue, more countries reached, easier to expand. So for you, when you think about your business, any business, try to focus on how can this be more and more online centric. If you want, and the other big reason, so one, you got a larger audience, less, your costs are lower, Okay, that's A, B, and the C reason that you want to do what I'm saying is that it gives you the ability to automate. It's much easier to automate machines than it is to own a restaurant and you have a whole bunch of people working for you. It's very hard to automate people. Many people have tried. It's not so easy to do. So the way I think about it is I want to do, and each of you I believe should have this goal. Your goal should be twice the accomplishments with half the work. Twice the accomplishments with half the work. If you can pull that off, you're going to live a good life. It's not just about how much money you make, it's how much work did you have to do. Somebody says, Tai, meal replacement is competitive. Next big thing is natural energy drinks, no caffeine. Actually, this is going to be somewhat of a energy drink too. We're putting a whole bunch of cool superfoods and things into it. Comment on my website, Tai, dearest Tai, you've changed my life. Thank you. Somebody says on my website, Tai, to automate, you get a virtual assistant, get your roommate spouse to keep books, get QuickBooks, download templates. You know what Albert Einstein said? He said, you should make things simple, but not simpler. Don't oversimplify. That's an oversimplification. Should we change the f-stop or whatever it is on this a little bit? Yeah. Okay, that's number one. I'm going to give you 7 things. By the way, for those of you who want to go further with this, at the end of this call, I'm going to open up, I have a 4-month online home study course that you can learn a lot more about this in depth. I'm going to give you as much as I can in exactly an hour and a half. Why an hour and a half? Facebook Live only gives me exactly an hour and a half, and then it automatically shuts off. So I've just said, that's a good number. Plus I got some other stuff I got to do today. And number 2, that's number 1, online centric. Bring everything into that online centric mentality. The second thing, if you want to build an automated business, is you have to understand the realities of automation. Okay? There's a lot of myths about automation. The realities. What are the realities of automation? Well, the reality is that most people are BSing you when they tell you, oh, just get into real estate. All of a sudden you'll have an automated business. Oh, just become a Forex trader. All of a sudden you have automated business. Just become an affiliate marketer and now you have an online automated business. In general, the rule of thumb is that automated businesses are unicorns. Do you know what I mean by unicorns? That means they don't exist. People are chasing after unicorns, but I'm going to show you a way that I believe you can make them exist. Just remember, almost everything you read, people are talking about mythical creatures that they've never actually seen themselves. So what is the realities of automation? You can automate, but not like you've heard before. Yes, you can automate, but not like you have heard before. Almost everything that's ever been taught on automation, if you really get down to the nitty-gritty and examine it, you'll see that it's not accurate. It's not really automated. People that'll tell you, oh, you can just do, for example, somebody posted here, I'm not picking on you. Thank you guys. Biggie Smalls, bye. Yeah, we need to get the lawyers working and getting we need to get that little operating agreement so we got everything worked out. Oh, you brought a lawyer. Yeah, we'll get our lawyers, connect you guys. Awesome. What you've heard before are things like, okay, you get some you buy some assets that produce income, maybe you get a virtual assistant, maybe you get a little office. The next thing you know, it just rolls and rolls. Well, here's the truth. The reason that the realities of entropy are different than realities of automation are different than people expect is because there's something called entropy. And entropy is a law of the universe. Physics, biologists, everybody agree. And what entropy says is, if you leave something alone, let's say this is your house right here. Here's the door. You walk away from this house and you go on a world tour for 1 year. You leave. You come back to that house and nobody's touched it, nobody's lived in it. You know what the realities are? Entropy teaches you that that house has decayed, something's gone wrong, termites, mice have set in, it's falling apart. And so the concept of automated business that's a unicorn that doesn't exist is that you can just walk away from things and they'll get better. That doesn't happen. You can't name one area of your life that you can walk away and it gets better. You can not lift weights. Does your body get better? You can, let's think of something else. You can ignore your friends for a year. When you get back, a lot of friends won't call you back. You can, hold on one second. Okay. Now, the dream for you is you walk away, that represents free time. And as you walk away from this business, all of a sudden things get better. If you want to do that, let's talk about that. That's number 3. Number 3, and you won't hear this in any business book. How do you reverse business, or let's call it financial entropy? If you have a stock portfolio and you leave it alone and you come back in a year and you haven't been watching it and one of those companies went bankrupt and you didn't make a change in your portfolio, either buying more or selling, sure, you're going to have less money. And if you know this right here, you basically know everything that you want to know about how to make a lot of money. How do you reverse entropy? How do you keep things from falling apart without putting a lot of energy in it? And I'm going to give you a few ideas. The first one I already told you, you want to use machines, and machines are, the internet is run by machines. You'll have servers. How are you? Forgot Herman's son is here visiting. I already gave this, but I'll repeat it. Machines can work for your business without falling apart. Obviously, eventually a computer breaks down, but a computer can work for 3, 4, 5 years with no work, maybe a little maintenance, a little antivirus software, and the sucker runs and runs. It doesn't need vacation. You don't have to worry about disability insurance. You don't have to pay a 401k. It doesn't need a salary. You got it once and the thing's running. So is your business built around machines? Now, I'm not saying every single part, but if I walk into any business, let's say a restaurant, I walk into that restaurant or this restaurant. This restaurant has machines running, automating systems, whether it be, the marketing of the business, whether it be the management scheduling, whether it be the ordering that people do. I'm going to bet on that business that has more machines running, because machines work well against entropy. They work for you. B is teams of people. Bill Gates was the wealthiest man in the world. He could take long vacations if he wanted to. Why? He had 100,000 employees working for him. He had 100,000 employees working for him. He had a team. Now, I put machines first because machines work better than teams, because teams you have to inject energy into them, because if you just hire 3 people and you never check back in on them, somebody's going to steal from you, somebody's going to be lazy, somebody's going to be not working very efficiently, and you're ended up. But between machines and teams, if you add them both together, if you use machines to manage teams, for example, now you get a lot of power. Okay. C. What's another issue? What's another way? Well, you have to know, and I mentioned this, systems. You must build your life into automated systems. That could be your daily routine, needs to be a system. I have a system. Most people's daily routine is very, very inefficient. Think about your system. Is it a good system or is it a poor system? Is your system one that works with very few mistakes? Or is every day you wake up and you're not sure what you're going to do? Oh, well, maybe I'll do that today. Maybe I'll do. Are you lost a little bit? Or if you're building your business, are you actually doing it with a systems-based mentality? I've found, I'll give you some practical examples. I have systems where every day one of my assistants buys books for me. Okay? I never have to think about it. I set that system up once. I said, every day I want you to buy 8 books for me and stick them next to my bed. All right? I never have to think about it again. It's kind of automated. Now, obviously, I have a team or an assistant doing it, but you can't believe how many people, every day is a new random day. You need to have multiple hours of your day already set up to work smoothly like a well-oiled machine. Another system I have a system where every Friday my cars get washed. Now that might seem like a relatively unimportant system, right? But think about it. What does that free me up to do? Well, it frees me up that I never have to think, will my cars be washed? If it's Wednesday, I don't have to look out and go, are my cars washed? Because I know on an automated system, every Friday, my cars are going to be washed. So if they're a little dirty on Wednesday, I don't have to take 1 ounce of my energy and devote it to something mundane like making sure you have clean cars. You want to have clean cars. Whether you have a Ferrari or Lamborghini, even if you have a piece of junk car, wash your car. If you ever pull up to a business meeting and you have a piece of crap car, that's fine. But if you have a piece of crap car that you don't take care of, it's a reflection on you. And people will judge you. And people might say, well, I don't care about people judging me. Well, okay. Then you ain't going to go far in life. Because if you can't impress the right people for the right reasons, you're going to lose out. Every time. People care. I have other systems in my business. Every single morning, every single hour, I have a combination of machines and systems. Every single hour, I get a revenue report of all my businesses right here to my phone. Boom. This phone right here. Every hour. And let's see, it's 6:33 our time, so in 27 minutes, I know on the dot, within seconds, I'll receive an updated report on my business. I don't do any work. No human does any work. It's all generated by a computer that automatically automates the whole business, business reporting. Every time I wake up around 10 in the morning, my accountant sends me a snapshot of the financial situation of my business. I don't ask them every day. The opposite of this is if every day I had to, the opposite of a system is something you have to think about every day. I never think about it. They know if they work for me and they're my accountant, send me my report every day by 10 a.m. Sometimes they send it at 9:20. Sometimes they send it at 9:40. Doesn't matter. I get it every time. And if you're not setting up your daily routines, you'll never have automated income if they're not systematized. And one of the biggest things, if I wish it was humanly possible that all of you watching, I could just say, here, come to my house and watch one day, because I was fortunate enough to have some mentors. If you saw my Snapchat, Joel Salatin was here yesterday, and I got to follow him around for almost 2 years, roughly 18 months, 19 months. I lived on his farm and I spent 12 hours a day watching, and he had built an automated system to run his business and his farm. And I learned how he used machines and how he used teams and systems. On a farm, we used electric fence. That's how you keep the cows in the field without them wandering off onto the road. That's a machine. And then he had teams. He built an apprentice internship system. I was in that intern. I helped with a lot of the work. And then he had systems. Joel was big into system. Every single day at 5 in the morning, we went out and we gave water to the animals. At 5:30, we moved to the next thing, on and on and on. And that was one of the most important lessons. And by 19 years old, I had learned that lesson, and I've been able to use that every business I go into, a lot of people who meet me go, Tai, everything, it seems like you're not doing that much work. People watch my Snapchat. A lot of people are like, I can't believe that this is real, because Tai, it seems like half your time you're going to Laker games and hanging out with people and doing jujitsu and all that. Well, you could learn how to do that too. And I'm laying out the basic outline. Like I said, I'm not gonna be able to get everything to you here in an hour and a half. Facebook gives me an hour and a half. But I'm gonna give you as much as I can. Then for those of you super interested in taking this further, I just did a live conference in Hollywood yesterday, the last 2 days. And there we have, sold out room. You got, I think that place holds about 400 people, 500 people. And when you have that many people, I always know only about 20% of people are really, really, really engaged. I mean, everybody there was very interested in taking notes, but 20% of your life, if you look at your Facebook followers, your quote-unquote friends, your co-workers, even your family, 80% of people are kind of helpful to you, but 20% are very interested in connecting with you and building with you. And so you want to build your life around that 20%. Are you going to that event?
Okay. You want me to go meet Zach?
Okay.
I'm gonna see
You're going to be here. Can you be here tomorrow? Can you talk tomorrow?
Yeah.
Okay.
If Ted Cruz shows up, you want me to?
Yeah, text me if he comes.
Okay.
Jeremy's going to an event. Ted Cruz might be there. Politicians may pop over. Now, let's talk about number 4. I'm going to expand on this a little further. Anyway, I was saying about 20% of people are engaged. We'll have at least, this is a shorter talk, an hour and a half. We'll probably have 30 to 40,000 people watch this if you add together Facebook, my website, YouTube, Periscope, and Meerkat. So there's a lot of people watching right now in 72 countries. And I know that, most people in life you're going to find are not, they're what we call tire kickers. They're not really ever going to do anything. They like to hear about it, but they don't like to do it. And so for those of you who are doers, I'm going to give you a way you can take everything I'm talking today and add other stuff onto it over the next 4 months. And it's a program that you can study on your phone or on your computer at home whenever you have some spare time. And it's going to teach you everything that my mentors taught me about finance, investing, money, real estate, launching businesses, automation of business, internet-based businesses, building daily routines, getting over procrastination, building teams, hiring, firing, building business partners, how to get investors to invest in your idea so you don't have to have so much money to start. They'll give you the money. All those things. It's a 4-month program. So it's called the Accelerator. I'll open up that a little bit later. But let's keep talking on these 7 ways you can build an automated online business. The 4th thing here, let's go a little bit further in what I call daily routine mastery. I'll give you 3 points on daily routine mastery. I was just talking a little bit before on this, but I want to go a little bit further because whenever I talk on this subject, people really ask me a lot. They're like, how in the heck do you build a daily routine? And I read somewhere, I forget the statistic, but most people don't think their daily routine is very effective. Let's do a quick survey here. You're watching. Just leave a comment on my website, Facebook, YouTube, Periscope. Somebody doesn't believe me that I have 40,000 people on. That's okay. I always screenshot it and put it on my Snapchat if you want to see how many people we have, the exact number. So here's a survey I want to do. 1 through 10. How high of a quality daily routine do you have? 10 is like you have no procrastination, you're motivated each day, everything just unfolds perfectly, you get your stuff done early, by nighttime you're relaxing, you do twice the work, you do half the work and get twice the results. How do you do that? 1 is like your day feels chaotic, you feel a little bit lost. Somebody said, Tai, there's only 600 viewers on Facebook. Yes. I'm trying to tell, we got a little bit of slow bus people on this call. So I'm on 4 different platforms live for anybody who's a little slow. Each of them have different amount of people that get on them. Okay? My website and YouTube get a lot because YouTube's big, right? Meerkat's a very small platform, so you'll see less followers. So Just thought I would update. Some people are a little lost on that. What are you? 1 through 10 here. I always call it the slow bus. If you don't know what the slow bus is, you know, a little side note, each of you is going to encounter a lot of enemies in your life. Trust me. Enemies of your hopes and dreams. They might come off as really nice people, but they'll work against you. And the only reason I ever, address haters on comments is not because I care, because I'm long past caring. When you reach 100 million people, you're going to get some people who don't like you. And what I'm trying to show you is that in your life, you'll have enemies. And some of them will come off as very nice. But slow learners are one of your biggest enemies. And even if you have friends that are slow learners, be very careful. They might be the nicest person in the world, but we learn through our environment. And the second your environment's full of slow learners, you become a slower learner. They reset your mindset, and they either reset it up or reset it down. So 1 through 10, we have some people saying they're a 6. We got a 4. Today, Al Vega says he was at an 8. Byron Cole says he's at a 10 out of 10. A 4 we have here. I saw a whole bunch pour in. What is your number? A 9, a 4, a 7. Somebody's a 0. 4, 7, 3, 4. Michael's a 5. Vicky's a daily routine of a 7. That means that 70% of my day is scheduled, but I always have 30%. Okay, great. I would say we look like we're averaging, 5 or 6s, which is pretty good. 5 is average, 6 is slightly above average. Let me show you a few myths about daily routine. Number 1, let's do some myth busters. Myth equals scheduling. A lot of people think that daily routine mastery comes from a well-organized schedule. Well, maybe so or maybe not. There is a great story about Warren Buffett, the second richest man in the world, and Warren Buffett had a reporter there at his office in Omaha, Nebraska, and Warren said, "I want to show you something. I want to show you something." And the reporter goes, "What?" And he goes, "Come look at my scheduler book." Warren Buffett's in his 90s, so he doesn't really use a computer. He has just a little old school calendar that he carries with him. And this reporter said, "Oh, great, let me see Warren Buffett, the second." I think at that time he was the richest man in the world. I want to see, what does the richest man in the world's daily routine look like? How much of it is scheduled, and how far out, and what does he do in 2 weeks? Is it all scheduled? And Warren Buffett just opened it up, and every page was empty. Empty, 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 empty. And Warren Buffett goes, "That's how I like my schedule." And he says if he builds his schedule with too much scheduling, builds his daily routine with too much scheduling, he has no time to be creative and do high-level things. You have to do high-level stuff. If you want to increase your income, you can't be doing the lower-level stuff. The guaranteed fact. I grew up with a single mom and didn't grow up around people with money. I don't think I ever met a millionaire until I was in my 20s. I don't even know if I ever met somebody who made 6 figures until I was out on my own in the world. I didn't grow up around people like that. And when I got on my own and I started learning how to network and connect with people around the world, and I met, a billionaire, and I met multi-millionaire people, you know what I found? A lot of the stuff people had told me was all completely backwards. In fact, what people had told me to go left, all those people were going right. And I was so surprised. And this is one of those areas I was surprised. I thought when I got around high-level people that things would be organized, and they would wake up, and if they wake up at 8 a.m. and then at 8:15 they would have this, and 8:30 this, and 8:45 that, and they moved from the next thing, and they were productive, and they had a power nap, and the next thing, and then I started finding first time I ever saw it firsthand is one of my businesses. I had a few investors. Some of my businesses I do with investors. Some of my business I just launch on my own. But I had launched this business, and there was 4 investors in the business. 2 of them, well, one of them made 6-figure income. Another made 7 figures. One of them was worth probably $6 million was their net worth. So they were technically a multimillionaire. I had another third person who was worth about $10 million. And then there was a fourth person who came at the end. The final investor was worth roughly, I would say, $600 million. So not quite a billionaire, although, you know, a lot of people who are billionaires don't want to be on the Forbes list. I think this guy may have been a billionaire. But whatever it was, very high net worth person. 100 million, 500 million plus. And you know what? Of all those 4 people, whenever I had to make a phone call, you know what? The hardest person to get a hold of was the person making 100 grand. The second hardest person was the person who was worth $6 million. The third hardest was the person worth $10 million. And the easiest person, I'm sorry, the third easiest, I should say. And the very easiest person that I could call at any time and they'd always answer their phone was a person worth over $500 million. Now, you might say, when I tell people that, people go, well, Ty, that's just because when this guy had so much money, he just had a team doing everything, and he just had assistants doing everything. And the reason, and I thought that too, but that wasn't it, because it was a habit that they had formed. And when I talked to them years later, they told me this was a habit that they had formed even before they were wealthy. Be very careful of overscheduling your life. I've made the mistake, and I have found that, you know, if I text Mark Cuban, I bet you I could text Mark Cuban right now. He will answer the fastest of all of the people. I don't know if the exact fastest, but he texts back fast. If I text my broke friends, they're always like, oh, the next day they text you back like, dude, I was so busy. I'm like, dude, you're unemployed. What do you mean you're busy? It's a bad habit. It's a bad habit. And whether you're a billionaire watching this, a millionaire, somebody making 6 figures, or somebody completely broke like I was when I started out, you still can start this habit today. You must, and this is number 2, to build a daily routine, you get rid of the myth of overscheduling. You can have some scheduling, and then you focus on high level creativity. And there's an old saying, you probably heard it before, don't work on the business, don't work in the business, work on the business. Imagine this diagram here. Here's most people. Boom. And here's their day. And it's full of activity. All this represents activity. And they're like swimming in the activity. It's almost like this is water. But imagine instead of drops of water, this is daily things you have to do. Oh, I got to pick up this person and this, and then I got to make this phone call and send this email and all that. That's this. That's represented. You're swimming in activity. You're working inside your life. But what high-level people do is they stand out here. And there's all those things they have to do too. But they stand out here. And sometimes they reach in and take action on one of those routine, one of those daily tasks that need to be done. But a lot of times they talk to this person and they say, you jump in here and do it, and then they watch. And they then, by being outside, they have time. This represents thoughts, and they have this creative idea. Number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And one of these ideas turns into their next $1 million idea, their next $1 billion idea. If you are always in the midst of all the tasks, when will you think? When will you do big things? When will you organize and build real business? Okay? This is the important thing to do. Please, if you remember one thing from the things that we do today, we cover today, remember, where's your time for high-level creativity? That needs to be built into your daily routine. And so I'll write this down here at the bottom. Hopefully you can see it. C, the point underneath here, is that, can everybody see that? Somebody said, Tai, but how do we know if we are overscheduling? Great question. Here's the answer. If you have no time for high-level creativity because you're moving from task to task to task to task to task, you are making a big, 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 big mistake. And you're overscheduled. So fix it. It's very easy to fix. Each person on this call, like I said, we'll have, and once again, people get a little bit confused on this. There's 4 different platforms that I'm streaming on. When I add them all together, there's roughly about 40,000 people who will be on this call in 72 countries. Every one of us on this call, every single person, whether you're billionaire, millionaire, 6 figures, or broke or in debt, has the ability to make a change today to add a level of high-level creativity. And what you have to do is, I call these focus sessions. And I got this from Charlie Munger. That's Warren Buffett's business partner, one of the smartest people alive on the planet, self-made billionaire. And he says, assiduity. You have to have assiduity. And somebody said, what do you mean by that? He said, you have to put your ass in a chair every day. And if you don't have a designated chair in your house, a chair, a specific chair, and you call it you can call it your thinking chair, you can call it your high-level creativity chair, whatever you want, or you can call it whatever you want to call it. But as long as you sit in that chair, and I would say at a minimum 7 minutes a day, and just move up in 7-minute increments. So you could do 14 minutes, and you could do 21 minutes, and you could do 28 minutes, but at least do 7 minutes a day. What do you do in that chair? You don't focus on any of this over here. You don't go inside the daily tasks that you have. You stand outside as an objective observer of the work that you have and the things that are in front of you. Each person, you watching, I'm sure you have a busy life. I'm sure that you have a life where you have some stress right now and some pressures. I'm sure you're competing in the world to make more money for yourself, to create more freedom and more options. Well, you ain't gonna get it if you ignore this. This is why every high-level person I talk to is easy to contact, because they're chilled out. They're thinking. They're going, what's my next $1 million idea? What's my next $1 billion idea? Who can implement it for me? What's my blind spots? What am I missing? What's a new marketing angle that I haven't thought of before? How do I delegate this? How do I automate it? How do I write an operation manual so I can hand it to an assistant and go, here's the operation manual, how to do this all on your own? What's the next big trend most people are missing out on? There's many trends that are completely lost. I'm going to show you guys in a second how to instantly come up with a new cutting-edge business using the newest trends and using something that I call trend stacking. Okay, let me take some quick questions on this, and then I'm going to move. We're on number 4. I've got exactly, what do we have? 52 minutes, and I got to be out here. So we got about 50 minutes left, then I'm off. And so what are some questions? Somebody said, Tai, how do you make an assistant listen to you? If you have an assistant that doesn't listen to you, you fire them. That's how you do it. Okay? Tai, can you make a few hour-long video following you around a true life day in the life of Tai? It's interesting you say that. In my accelerator program, if you get inside there today, I'm going to open up you got to fill out an application, but if you go inside there and you're accepted, I have behind-the-scenes videos where you can see that. What's letter C again? Focus sessions. At least 7 minutes a day, sitting in a chair, focused. Tai, how do you automate a clothing business? Great question. Once again, I'm launching a clothing line right now. You guys have been seeing that on my Snapchat. If you're in my accelerator, you can see more. We'll talk more. You can apply all these things I'm talking about to anything. Tai, do you use a whey protein or a weight gainer? Protein. I don't use a weight gainer. I don't have a problem gaining weight. I got a problem making sure I don't gain too much weight. Tai, what are some trends you're working on? Well, great question. We'll talk about that in a second. Some cutting edge trends that I'm seeing that I'm working on. Online education is one of the biggest trends in front of everybody's eyes that 0% of people they're taking advantage of. Basically only colleges and universities are taking advantage of them, but it's projected to hit $1 trillion business relatively soon. $1 trillion business. Man, people get excited about $4 billion business or $10 billion or $100 billion. This online education's already over $100 billion. Quick questions, other ones. Ty, how to get rid of negative mindsets and dream stealers? Well, negative mindsets usually with your own mind. People who steal dreams are usually outward. So you got to control your inner world and your outer world. And that's a whole nother talk that I have. One of the most important things you can build is social skills. And people think of social skills backwards. People think that social skills means how can you always get new friends. That's not social skills. Social skills also includes how do you get rid of bad people in a way that doesn't cause disasters. Because sometimes the bad people are your family members. Sometimes the bad people are a coworker, and you can't necessarily just go, bye, I never want to talk to you again. So having social skills is also how do you deal with annoying people in annoying situations that are you're somewhat stuck in. So social skills is very, very important. One more question, Ty, what's the biggest business on the planet right now? The biggest business in the planet right now, I mean, it depends on how you measure, but by market cap on the stock market, it'd be Apple. Apple's the largest market cap company, valuation roughly around $700 billion. If you look at now what's the largest industry in the world, depends who you ask. Some people would say it's music. Some people would say it's, energy business. Everybody's using oil, everybody's using gas, so on, stuff like that. Travel is not the largest business in the world, even close. Finance is a big business. Life insurance in the United States holds $5 trillion in assets alone. But by popularity, music, food, obviously, shelter, so construction and all that stuff. But if you just go by the value of a company, it's Apple. Somebody said they think Google passed Apple. Oh, I highly doubt that. Look at the market cap of Google right now, Mike. It's almost impossible.
Second to Apple.
Yeah, but by what's the market cap?
Yep.
I doubt it because Google doesn't have a physical product. I'll be real surprised. I might be wrong. Let's see. We'll find out the answer real quick. Market cap.
Google market cap.
I was seeing 744 US dollars. Does that sound right?
Let me see.
No, it's 520 B. 520
Yeah.
billion.
So Google's at 520. It's not even close to. It's not even close. What's website are you on?
Google Nasdaq.
Yeah. Yeah. Google's not even close. I mean, they're $200 billion away. Just remember, Google has virtual products. They're always going to have less revenue than if you have a physical product like an iPhone or iPad. They have Android, yeah, but they don't control. They're not a vertically integrated business. Google doesn't control. They license out their software. So they could be more profitable, but they'll never, in my opinion, they're not going to hit the revenue that they have. Berkshire Hathaway, nope, sorry. Somebody said Berkshire Hathaway, cough, cough. I'm not sure is the cough, cough you saying that you're right? Because you may want to take some cough syrup, buddy. Berkshire Hathaway is about a $300 billion company. It's not even close. McDonald's, nope. McDonald's, I read their annual report. They do about $27 billion in revenue. They're not even close. I don't even think McDonald's may be worth, what's the market cap on McDonald's? Anyway, let's keep moving. I won't get too, let's talk about for you. What can you do? These are all about, today is about you. Very important that you, a lot of people get lost in other people. A lot of people watch the Kardashians, or they watch TV.
115 billion.
Yeah, 100. McDonald's is a $100 billion company. A lot of people are completely distracted from the matter at hand. The matter at hand today is for you. Who cares about Google? Who cares about Facebook? Who cares about me? 5 Ferraris, Lamborghini. People spend all this time trying to figure out stuff about me. The question is, you. How can we make, and the goal of this call is 2016 becoming the best year of your life. How can this be the year? Because it's early in the year right now. You have a chance to make 2016 so that when everybody else is focused on 2017 New Year's resolutions, you are already killing it in 2016. I want you to do that. That's important to me. Now, what does it take to do that? Well, let's keep going. You need in my opinion, automated online business. Where's Kenna?
Kenna was last in the house here.
Have her come play soccer.
Okay.
Have her come say hello over there. All right. What's the fifth thing you have to know? If you want to build, you want to make 2016 the best year of your life. Well, let's talk about it right here. You want to have evened out cash flows. Here's where a lot of people get all messed up. I'll give you an example. Let's say you build a business right now that sells toys. Okay? Let's say you launch a flower company, a flower delivery company. You know why I don't love those businesses? If you look at them, then you're going to make all your money in December around Thanksgiving, and you make, nothing in the summer and very little of the rest of the year. If you look at flower delivery business, right around Valentine's Day in February, you have all your cash pouring into your bank account right in February. Do you want to live your life that way, where you're always going, you're broke right now, and then you have a whole bunch of money, and then you have no money? Well, I like what I call leveling out or evening out. You can call it whatever you want. Leveling out your cash flows. I'd rather make a consistent amount every single day than a whole bunch one month and then nothing the next. Because yes, you can save the money, but I know the psychology of myself and humans. When you got a lot of money, you spend it more liberally. When you don't have much money, you're depressed. Everybody here who doesn't have money, if you don't make enough money, it's been proven over and over with brain scanners, you're experiencing a lower level of happiness than you should. The reason I built the accelerator, the reason I do these live calls, is because I was lied to by society growing up, and you probably were too. You heard things like money is the root of all evil, and this is, poverty is the root of all evil. Look around every country in the world that has high levels of poverty, everything bad. You have high levels of disease, high level of drug trafficking, high levels of people taking advantage, high levels of corruption. You go to countries that are wealthy like Norway, Sweden, it's like heaven on earth. I lived in those countries. I'm not saying they're perfect, but if you had a choice between living in a war-ridden, genocidal country where a few people have all the wealth and literally everybody else is broke, then go live in Sweden, and you tell me which one you'd rather live in, and which one you'd rather raise a family, and which one you want to build a future on. I was lied to, and even though some people say, no, it's not money, it's the love of money, just forget that. See money as your best friend. Think of it that way. Who here has a best friend? You have a best friend who theoretically could screw you over, but they're your best friend. So as long as you treat them correctly, they're not going to screw you over. That's why they're your best friend. Each of us has one friend that you know you could count on to save your life, to change your life, to make your life amazing. Well, here comes the helicopters. Oh, she went to do prescription. So for you got to ask yourself, is money your friend? And most people don't have enough friends, and most people don't have enough money. And if you don't have them, think of it this way. Why I like to even out cash flows, options. Whether or not you like money, I promise you one thing. You want a life full of options. A life full of options. Today, imagine if tomorrow you had all the options open to you in the world. You had all the options. You could snap your fingers and go, I need a new car. I got that option. You go out and get a new car because your car now is not running well. You snap your fingers and go, I need a nicer place to live. One of the first things I did when I started to make a little bit of money, when I made like $6-7 grand a month from zero, I used to make zero, and I got a nicer place. Before I was sleeping on a couch in a mobile home. Just had a little blanket on a horrible couch that was all uncomfortable to sleep on. First thing I did, I got a nicer house. It makes a difference. There's a great book called The Happiness Hypothesis by a scientist named Jonathan Haidt, who says if you don't like your house and you don't like where you sleep, you will experience high levels of cortisol in your blood. Cortisol in your blood is otherwise known as the stress hormone. If you want to be stressed, live in a crappy place for a long period of time. Now, the next thing that I did when I had money, I took a vacation. Not vacation because I necessarily hated what I was doing, but I wanted to travel. So the first time I ever got money, I used it to travel, and it made my life better. I went around the world. I've been to 40, 50 countries, met the most amazing people. People gave me advice. People gave me tips. People became business partners. In the future, that's options. If you're not liking your life, I know what you don't like about your life. You got no options. When you're broke, you have no options. When your cash flow is not leveled out, you'll have a lot of options in December, and then in August, you won't like your life because you're stuck. Being stuck is a nightmare. So options, being stuck. What's the opposite of being stuck? Being free. And freedom is one of the reasons people that I know that are wealthy, or as I started to make more money, the reason people like money. It's not because they want to hold it and smell it. It's not even because they're materialistic. It's because they want options and they want freedom and they don't like feeling stuck. Who here, by a show of comments, has ever had a badass idea that you know would have made your life amazing? Maybe it's a product, maybe it's an invention you had, maybe it's a new business, maybe it's an idea to travel and connect with somebody, maybe there's something artistic, but you couldn't do it because you were stuck, you had no freedom, and you had no time. Who's ever experiencing that? Because I had that at a major level. Hopefully nobody will get too offended. I'm starving. I'm gonna eat. Oop. Somebody said this guy and pointed to themselves. Somebody says they have a clothing business, but they're short $10,000, so they can't launch. Somebody said, Tai, you're preaching to the choir. Somebody said, Tai, how do you become more resourceful? Oh, this is peanut butter. I thought this was peanut sauce for the chicken. This is actually peanut butter. That's a new, interesting invention. Chicken, it actually tastes good. Ah. I like it. We've now invented a new food. Believe it or not, stupid embarrassments like this, stupid mistakes like this, end up being where people invent new stuff. It's actually good. Somebody says, Tai, I have an amazing app idea, but no capital to launch it. So now you're stuck. Tai can't get a office because can't get a bank loan. But Tai, somebody says, how do you start from nothing? Great question. Okay. We're about through all 7 tips. I'm going to go through 6. Then I'm going to open up the accelerator. Then I'll give you the 7th tip last. Someone says, Tai is a complete con artist. I love those. Sometimes I want to ask people, what do I con you out of? I did 450 million minutes on my YouTube channel last year of free advice for people. YouTube's free. Just remember, each of you, my enemy is probably your enemy. The person who writes crappy stuff to me, you watch. Once you're big, it's going to be the same dude on your YouTube channel. That's why my enemy is your enemy. Trust me. Okay, let's go. I need a little food break. Try to eat with my mouth open. Every once in a while, go out with your friends, eat with your mouth open. Anyone who got super offended, delete their number from your phone. People who care about you and are down for you, they ain't gonna care if once in a while you eat with your mouth open. I mean, if you did it every time, annoying, but never Little side bonus point. Joel Salatin, my mentor, once told me, Ty, avoid nitpicky people. Now, if they're engineers building you a car, you definitely want a nitpicky person. He was talking about in your social life. Jesus Garcia said, my ex used to get offended when they ate with your mouth open. Well, like I said, if you're doing it to be rude and I'm eating with my mouth open because I'm trying to talk to you guys at the same time, because Facebook has a timer on how long I can talk. So I'm doing it actually to, if I wanted to be polite, I would just be like, hold on, I'll be back in 10 minutes. But that would also be rude because then you'd have to just sit here and wait. Macho Camacho, come say hello. Come look on there. Herman's kids are here. No, you got to step back. They can't see your head. Right here. Look there. Oh, here. What's your name?
Mateo.
Mateo. Lucas, come say hi. No, over here. Right here. Look at this one. They can't see you. Mateo. No, here. You got to step backwards. Step towards me. Come back. Wave that you see up there. There you go. Were you guys playing soccer?
Yeah.
Are you good?
Yeah.
Who's your favorite soccer player?
Messi.
Messi?
And Ronaldo.
You like Ronaldo?
Mhm.
Why? But you're Argentinian.
No. It's just because he's 2% better than Messi. No. Messi's one.
Ronaldo's 2% better
No.
soccer?
No. He's cheating. He's lying. Messi is 2% better than Ronaldo.
Messi's better?
Yeah.
How about Michael Jordan or Kobe Bryant?
Nah.
They don't grow up around basketball. Somebody wrote a comment, he's cheating. Thought that was funny.
I said that.
You said that?
Yes.
What about Neymar?
Good. He's good. He's good. He's good.
He's the goodest?
Yeah. Neymar is the goodest.
You're part Colombian. Who's the Colombian that you like?
James.
Who?
James and Falcao. Me too.
Yeah? You're both Colombian. They're both half Colombian. If Messi is so good, why did he lose against Germany? Ooh.
Because Germany is better than.
Germany's
Chile.
better?
And Chile. Because Chile is better.
Chile's better than Argentina?
Yeah, in the World Cup final.
Don't say that in
Chile
front of your
won.
dad's gonna get mad. No, Argentina got all the way to the end.
I know Argentina got all the way to the end because it beat Colombia. And
All right.
Chile won.
Thank you for that soccer break. We gotta go. I gotta do my talk. I only have a half hour. Wait, don't break my microphone. All right, go play soccer with your dad.
No, we're leaving, I think.
You're leaving?
I think.
Herman, are you guys leaving?
This is Mike A.
This is Mike A.
No, Mike
Let's go to number 6 real fast.
Where's the other microphone?
Number 6.
I have Mike A. And he has Mike B.
Who has my marker? Oh,
I
I
want a Mike B. I
do. No,
want
you
Mike
can't have
B.
Mike B. What happened to your hair?
Hey!
You look like the Power Ranger guy. No, he looks like what's that cartoon? Jimmy Neutron. Jimmy Neutron. Jimmy Neutrino. Why are you so sweaty? How much soccer were you playing?
We played a lot.
Who won?
6-6. I won because 7-6. I got 10 points. No, he got 7.
These
I
are-
got 6. 8. We got 8.
Yes. Likes attention. You're like your dad. You like attention. Ty, prank the kids and throw them in the pool. Somebody said, no, don't scream. It's too loud. Somebody said you hurt their ears. Why do you want to hurt people?
Ooh, that's a bad thing.
All right. Number 6. Before we run out of time. Here we go. Number 6. Very, very important thing.
I want to have my cool.
In order to build an
This
online
is my gay.
business, here's something you have to know. You must know the 3 I'm just gonna call them the 3 secrets
You
they
know
never
what
teach
call
you in
three-hump
school.
camel? What do you call three-hump camel? Pregnant.
What is it?
Pregnant.
What is the question?
What do you call a three-humped camel?
What do you call a 3-humped camel? Pregnant? How do you know that joke?
In Zootopia.
It's in Zootopia?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do this joke on Snapchat. Ready? Hey, look this way.
What do you call a three-hump camel?
What do you call a 3-humped camel?
Pregnant.
Pregnant. Ah, that's a pretty good joke. Where'd you get that joke? Zootopia?
Yeah. From my school.
You said Zootopia.
Well, I got it from Zootopia.
What are the 3 things they never taught you in school? A. Life is about access. And this is the good life. So the good life is about 3 things. Access. B. It's around tools. And C. It's around cutting edge ideas. And if you want to have mastery in any 3 things, it's these 3. I got to, I interviewed Larry King the other day. You guys know Larry King. He's in the Guinness Book of World Records for the most celebrity interviews. And I asked him, what was the big breakthrough in his life? He said, well, I was just in a little radio
Let me turn it on
operator,
for you. Okay? No, it's
and
already
somebody
turned on.
introduced me and gave me access
See?
to Ted Turner.
Look,
Ted Turner's the billionaire.
this has the same color.
Who do you have access to? B. Tools. You remember in Indiana Jones, the movie? There's this guy with a sword, and he's really good with the sword, and he can kill everybody. And Indiana Jones just grabs a gun, and he just goes, boop, and shoots him. Tools.
Camera up.
Tools.
Someone.
What tools do you possess? For example, in 2001, I bought an online home study course from Corey Rudel. I spent $500 to $1,000. I bought a couple programs, and I learned one tool, Google AdWords. Now, a lot of my friends were going to college. A lot of my friends were working hard. A lot of my friends had better backgrounds. A lot of my friends were going to inherit money, but I had a tool that they didn't. I knew how to use Google AdWords. And I spent about $1,000 to learn how to use Google AdWords on training, home study course. And you know what? If I add up how much money my businesses have made from Google AdWords, it's at least 10 to 20 million dollars. 10 to 20 million bucks. Is that a good return on my money? Yeah, I had a better tool. What tool do you have right now? Let's list them out. What tools do you possess that give you a competitive advantage and allow you to automate an income? Somebody says, Tai, is this a hotel? Well, what do you think? Some people are slow. They think I live in a hotel. It is a big place. Somebody said Twitter and Instagram followers. Somebody said they have a tool. They have nothing, somebody said. Somebody said they have books. The internet is a tool. Yes, but I'm talking about a tool that not many people have. Lots of people have the internet. What's more specific things that you have? Email funnels. Yeah, but email funnels is just a thing. Like, do you have a tool that builds automated email funnels for you very quickly? That's a tool. A tool is something that leverages out your energy and multiplies it times 1,000. Somebody said wrapping. Somebody says they have Shopify. Okay, Shopify is one. I got some people in my accelerator program. I just had a guy here. He netted, how much did Nishant net, Maya? He netted $3 million. He was a single dad. Was down to his last dollar. He sold a cricket bat. You know the game cricket? That's all. He's from India. He sold it. He bought one tool. It was a training program and a tool on selling t-shirts on the internet and how to sell them on Facebook. And last year he made $3 million net, not gross. How would you like to have $3 million net in your bank account? That's $300,000 a month. That's about a little under 300, 250,000, let's say, a month. That means every paycheck you're getting a paycheck for 125 grand. Would that give you more freedom? Would it give you more options? I hope you'll say yes, because if you couldn't have a better life with 150 grand, you're doing something wrong. Somebody said public speaking. Infusionsoft. Okay, Infusionsoft, that's a tool. I like that answer. Somebody said Buffer. Yep, Buffer's one of many tools I use. One of the advantages I have, I literally have 100 tools running right now, all over the place. I have automated people management tools. I'm using Facebook Live, Periscope, Meerkat, YouTube. I was the first person probably in the world that was running all 4 simultaneously. As far as I know, no one ever did it. That's a tool. I actually took 4 tools, combined them, and on all 4 combined, I can talk to simultaneously 40 to 50,000 people, 72 countries, whenever I want to do it. When I combine them, that's a tool. I used YouTube advertisements. Nobody knew how to do those. I became basically the biggest YouTube advertiser in the world. That's a tool. That tool got me 1.2 billion views last year. You have to ask yourself, do you have any tools up your sleeve? You have no tools up your sleeve, you're in huge trouble. You'll always have an average income. Humans who have found tools have always outperformed humans who haven't. You can ask any sociologist, any historian, any evolutionary psychologist. This was the breakthrough for humans. ClickBank, yes, ClickBank is a tool. Basecamp, that's a task management tool. ClickBank is an affiliate network, that's another tool. Good. All right, let's keep going. What access do you have? I, at first, had no access. My life changed when I got access to Joel Salatin, when I got access to Michael Murphy, when I got access to Gary Townsend. They introduced me to this person, this person, this person. Now I'm a little bit luckier. I have access to all kinds of interesting people. If you watch my Snapchat, you can see every week I get access to people who teach me things, people who introduce me, people who give me new ideas, people who partner, whether it be Mark Cuban or last week I got to go back in the locker room with Kobe Bryant, you know, T.O., football guy, went to dinner with the Clippers, all these things. Sometimes people are like, are you in love with celebrities? I'm like, no, I'm not in love with celebrities. I like interesting people, I will tell you that. But I'll tell you one thing, I like access, because access gives you a different lifestyle. And if you can't get access in, if you don't have access, I'm telling you, figure out a way to get. The third thing is cutting edge ideas. I don't know if I have enough time to talk too much on cutting edge ideas, but no hitting with the microphone, guys. Okay, what's your Snapchat? It's Tai Lopez 1. Nick said, Tai, we have access to you, so thanks for giving us a chance. I hope that this gives you some access, but make sure you have some personal access too. You need that. Let me, there's a seventh thing I want to talk about. But before I do, I got to do something real fast. No, but you can help if you would like.
Okay, I guess.
I'm going to give you guys a tool. Last year, I gave 3,000 people in the world a tool. Out of about 1 million people that learned about this tool, I let 3,000 people in. I'm going to show an application in one quick second. If you want one tool that's going to give you access, cutting edge ideas, and more tools, I'm going to give you it all in one, wrapped in one. It's a paid program that I have. Some of you can't afford it. Don't worry. I'm not a pushy person. If you can't afford it, that's great. Don't do it. But you will miss an opportunity, and I will tell you that in my life I've missed huge opportunities. So I built a home study course. Everything I'm talking about today, remember, when I do these live calls, I have all ages, all experience levels, all levels of engagement, all language. Some people have language barriers, so I have to do a lot of kind of general talk. Some of you are like, Tai, give me some real specific tools. We were talking about Infusionsoft, we're talking about Buffer, we're talking about all that. Well, I don't have time to show you how to do an email automation, automate your email system. But trust me, I've spent $5 or $10 million of my own money with my computer programmers building tools that I use every single day. And so I don't have on these live calls the time to go in depth. So a lot of people, when I used to just do these live calls, would say, Tai, this is great. How do I get more? And I built a 4-month home study course. You can do it on your phone. You can check the videos on your phone. You can learn, or you can do it on your computer, or you can listen to audio when you drive to work. All right? There's 3 levels to the program. The first level is called the money level. And it's a library of talks and videos that you access, password protected, So they're not available on YouTube, Facebook, nowhere else. Only there's a members only website with a password you would get access to. And if you're in the money level, it's everything that I think that you need to know about money: how to invest your money, how to invest in the stock market, how to invest in real estate, how to build businesses, how to make them automated, how to build online centric businesses, how to take an idea from your head and copyright it, trademark it, patent it, how to write a book. I just did a thing on how to write a book in 5 days. My mentor has written 10 books. How you can do that. He's made millions of dollars just from books. How can you do all those things? Anything to do with money that they forgot to teach you, I put in this program. There's 2 other levels, but for today, I'm going to open up applications just to go into here. There's an entrepreneur level and a persuasion. These are more expensive and more in-depth. If you're an advanced entrepreneur, you can get access to this. And if you want to know more advanced marketing stuff, the 25 cognitive biases, modulation, selling from the stage, selling from the internet, all that more advanced stuff, I have that here. But everybody in my accelerator program, you got to go into the money program first. It's the foundational one. It has all kinds of badass stuff. I spend $50,000 to $100,000 a month, every month, 50 to 100 grand. I see my accounting statements on bringing in the best trainers to train me. When I was first starting out, I was completely broke. I couldn't spend a penny. So I'm going to give you access to the very same training I do. I just had here a couple of days ago, if you were watching, I had a hedge fund manager, one of the top guys, training me to be better with my money and all the things he learned running a $1 billion fund, hedge fund, and learning from Paulson and all these top people. He's like a PhD, I think, in statistics. And so you're not going to be able to afford that guy. He's a hedge fund guy. These guys make mega money. So I take all that training. While he's training me, I'll be like, let's record a video. And I put it in the online members only website that I call the accelerator, that you're going to get a password to if we accept your application. And you can just be on your phone anywhere in the world. You got a break, you're on an airplane, you're waiting in a waiting room, you got some extra time at work, boom, you little short videos. I'm going to show you how it works. You get access to 6 things. When you get in the money program, you're going to get 6 things. Number 1 is one of the most important. You're going to get access. Twice a month, I have a live interactive call that's member only. Not everybody can get into it. It's a member only website, and it's twice a month live. I bring in, either I'll teach it or I'll bring in the badass people, and it's a small group, which means you can have enough time to ask all your questions and get more one-on-one attention. Usually we can answer almost everybody's questions. Occasionally, you know, we miss a few, but this is your chance to access. Who have I had on these accelerators? I've had pro athletes that are champions. I've had billionaires on, like Mark Cuban people come on these. I've had you know, the people who train me in real estate investing. I had a guy who has the largest residential real estate company in the world. So that's twice a month live, and we go through 2 books a month. So I'm going to give you 2 badass books that you can read, and I'll show you how to read them faster or listen to them on audiobooks. Twice a month you can do that. In addition to that, I'm going to give you what I call the mini talks. It's a library of videos that you can pick and choose from on any subject. Most of them are around 18 minutes or less. They're not as long as this talk. So let's say you want to know how to get out of debt. You log into this accelerator member only website, you press a button, boom, you go to the thing, how to get out of debt. You watch a short video, it trains you, cutting edge people training. Let's say you want to know how to invest in the stock market. You log in, you press a button. I had my friend and a guy who's actually in the program, Patrick. He's in one of my higher level programs. He manages $140 million in the stock market for, you know, a decade. I had him come in and he'll teach you. You can watch. You can just pull up your phone, boom, or if you're on the treadmill, listen to the audio, boom. You're learning more and more quicker. The goal is twice the success with half the work. That's what I want for you. How do you get twice the success with half the work? Well, easy. Easy. You get access to ideas and tools. The third thing I'm going to give you is behind the scenes. This is a tool. Very few people have ever seen the behind the scenes of how you take just an idea and turn it into $1 million business, or a 6-figure business, or a 8-figure business, 7 or 8 figure. Well, I'm building businesses all the time, and as far as I know, not many people are opening up that you can actually watch and get ideas, and it's almost like you're there and you can use those very same things that I do. And as long as you're in the accelerator, you can use them in your own business. I give you free license to use anything I put in there for yourself. You can copy it, you can quote unquote steal it, whatever you want to do, okay? It's allowed. So that's behind the scenes. The fourth thing I'm going to give you is preferred access. I do this twice a month, but I know a lot of you might have questions twice a week. So about twice a week I go on live streaming, and if you're in the accelerator, I give you a special code that you can just put in your comment, and then I'll answer your questions first. Okay, the fifth thing that you're going to get, and never feel overwhelmed. You don't even have to go through all this stuff. You can pick what you want. There is a private Facebook group. This is huge. Why? Access. Yesterday, I was at my conference. People flew in from all around the world, Australia, Romania, Europe, Lithuania, and I was talking to somebody who found a new business partner. And I was like, where'd you guys meet? They're like, oh, in the private Facebook group in the accelerator. People you never get access to, all of a sudden, like-minded people in one place for you to meet. So you're going to get that. Can you still see? Do we need a light on this? I wonder. Private Facebook group. And then the sixth thing that I'm going to give you, and this is only for people in the accelerator. This is how you can network from wherever you live. You just log into the private Facebook group. There's all kinds of amazing people. If you have a question like, who's the best lawyer to use in Los Angeles or New York or London, you post in there. People who are like-minded can just answer. You can get answers quick from other people. Now, the sixth thing that you get is what I call money motivation. You know, I could show you everything that my mentors showed me, but if you don't know how to motivate yourself, you'll just get all this head knowledge and you'll never benefit from it. So I build a specific, every week I give you a different way to motivate yourself. It's kind of like homework. Once a week you log in, you'll see a little, I'll post it in the private Facebook group, money motivation technique, a tip, something I use to keep myself motivated. One thing that was cool that Larry King told me, he said, I've interviewed in the world, in the history of humans, I've interviewed the most successful people, the largest volume of successful people, from presidents to celebrities to professional athletes to philanthropists, charitable people, you name it, he's interviewed them. And he said they have one thing that sets them all apart. I asked him, what's the one thing that sets them all apart? He said they have one thing, Tai. They all have drive. And if you don't have high drive and high motivation levels, nobody can help you. And you'll never be able to help yourself. You'll be stuck for the rest of your life. So this is a very important part of the accelerator, that you get the money motivation. Now, biggest question, the most obvious question is, how much does it cost? People sometimes ask me why I charge money for the paid program. Easy. I already tested it where I gave it away 100% free. People don't value what they don't pay for. It's really true. You know what people pay for with no complaining? It's funny, all my friends, I had a friend, I was in a Barnes & Noble with them, and he's always broke. And I walked by a book, Poor Charlie's Almanac. And I said, you should buy this book, man. You're always broke. This is a book that I learned a lot from on how to make money. And he picked it up and said, oh, thank you. And so we walked to where the cashier was, and right when he put the book on the counter, he looked at the price. It's a big hardback book. He said, this book, Tai, is $130. He looked at me and goes, 130 bucks? I'm putting this book back. I said, why? He said, what's $130? I'm not gonna spend 130 bucks on a book. And I said to him, I said, well, question for you. How much are the Jordans you're wearing right now? And he looked down and he was wearing some nice Jordans. I like Jordans, I got nothing against them. But I never get it mixed up of what my priorities were. He had gotten his priorities mixed up and he said, oh, they were 150 bucks. I said, let me get this straight. You spent 150 bucks on shoes. You could have come out here in sandals and still walked around. But you put $150 out, and who did you make rich? I asked my friend, who did you make rich? And he goes, oh, well, I guess Nike. I said, yep, Phil Knight and Michael Jordan are both billionaires. You made them rich. And then I said to him, I said, if you put $150 in this book, that knowledge goes into your head. It's there forever. You don't think over the next 1 year, 1 month, 1 week, 1 decade, you'll make back more than $150 if you learn the investment secrets of one of the richest men in the world. I said, you're a fool, man. And fools are always broke. And that lesson got through to him, thank God. And he realized the way money works is you want to put money out as long as it'll come back. It's not an expense if it has a potential to come back. It's an investment. Poor people are all about spending money. It's funny, the other day I was thinking about that book thing was about a year ago, but I was out with, there was like 20 of us and we were starving and the only place to eat was Subway. So we went into Subway and everybody there, I just watched. I don't know why, my brain sometimes works in weird ways. And I just saw every single person there pull out money out of their wallet for a Subway sandwich. Nobody said, why isn't this free? They just were like, well, it's a sandwich, I'll pay for it. Boom, boom. And they all, and there was like 10 of us. And they bought, you know, the average person, let's say, spent $9 or $10. We'll just round it up. And it was like 10 of us. And just $100 went out with no complaining, no worries. Everybody was happy to do it. And I was thinking, you ate that sandwich, sure, it gives you nourishment for an hour, 2 hours. But then it's all gone. You'll never get that $100 back. You know who gets that $100? The franchisee that owns that restaurant. And they'll take that $100 because they're probably smarter than most people, and they'll put it into a investment that will pay them dividends for decades, hundreds of years. I mean, you know, if they pass the money on to their kids. The Ford family, people paid them money for cars. That Ford family is still rich centuries later. So is the Walton family that started Walmart. And that's the difference. What our parents did wrong. If you're like me and you grew up around broke parents, my mom didn't do anything wrong, but she was never trained. So she didn't understand the power of money. All right. So how much is the investment into this program? I had, so there's two answers. In 2016, this year, the price went up. So the price went up. Last year, I was looking how I wanted to price it. I decided I'd price it as the same as like Harvard or USC, which is which is basically 50 grand a year. So I was like, I'm gonna charge 50 grand a year. But then I thought about it and I was like, you know what? That's only gonna help rich people, because regular people, like when I was starting out, I didn't have 50 grand. I didn't even have 5 grand. I didn't even have, you know, I had maybe $1,000 saved up. And so I said, forget it. I'm not gonna charge the high price. So I said, what's the opposite? In the modern world, what do people pay for education? On the high end, people pay for Harvard, $250,000, $260,000 for 4 years. On the low end, I had some friends here in LA. I said, how much do you pay for community college? And they say $1,000 a quarter. So I was like, that's it. I'll charge $1,000. So that was last year's price. Then I told everybody in January, I'm gonna raise the price, since it's a 4-month program, to $1,000 a month. So in January, I raised it to $4,000. That's the current price, etc. But I got good news for you before you freak out. As I told you, I'm gonna give you guys a bonus. I told you all the things you're gonna get. One of the main bonuses for today and for the next 20 minutes. Now I'm gonna have to reset Facebook because I only got 8 minutes on Facebook. So I'll reset Facebook. I'll put a link. That link is gonna be up for 20 minutes. I'm gonna go back to last year's price. So you're welcome to wait till tomorrow. Tomorrow it'll be back. You'll see. You can even go on my website right now. You'll see it's $39.97. Okay, $4,000. But for the next 20 minutes or the first 30 people, whichever one comes first, I'm gonna give it to you for last year's price, $9.97. Okay, $9.97. Somebody said, Tai, is that a 2,000 square foot house? You can look. If you think it's not quite 2,000. It's a little bigger than that. People always want to see the house. Okay. So last year's price, this year's price is this, but we'll do this. So this is the one-time payment. Now, that's bonus number 1. The bonuses, if you snooze, you lose. These are the temporary bonuses that are going to be up here for the next 20 minutes. I'll tell you when we start the timer. We'll start the timer soon. Okay? This is bonus number 1. You won't pay $4,000, you'll pay that. Bonus number 2, I know some of you are scared. We live in a world of fearful people. It's not been a big problem in my life, just because my personality type has never tended to be that fearful, but I do understand Some people are naturally a little more fearful than others. So we're gonna have to go like that. Okay. If you can't see the board, try to focus it. If you can't see, I think it's just be a little tricky. No, it's good. Can you point the lights not on me? Can we reflect them off something, like off that tree or something? All right, Facebook in a second. I'm gonna reflect it 5 minutes. I'm gonna reset Facebook. Yeah, we'll throw up something. But bonus number 2, my lawyers are like, in California, we have to give everybody a 3-day guarantee period. If you buy the program, you have 3 days to get your money back. But I told my lawyers, forget that. I want to make it that people who are afraid, what if they buy this program? What if it doesn't work for them? I said, let's give them a longer refund period. So he said, do 14 days. And I thought about that, and we started out, we were going to do a 14-day. But I realized even 14-day is not enough time because it's a 4-month program. I want to let you go into the program, access it, see if it helps. Ooh, that might be a tan, right? Dark. You know what I'm gonna do? Let me come closer and see if that helps. Maybe. But so I told them, let's just do. It's a 4-month program. Let's do 2 months. Guarantee. This is an important one. Don't mess up that one. Okay. That's most people are on Facebook. So this is the one that I always get right. This one's secondarily. So I decided to do a 60-day, 100% money back guarantee. So there you go. You get in the program. My lawyer said don't do this because he said some people are going to buy the program, use it for 60 days, download all the stuff because it's downloadable, and then they'll just get all their money back and I'll get screwed over. But oh well, I'll survive. This isn't my main source of income, so if somebody takes advantage of it, great, I don't care. And the interesting thing, I launched this in May. We have almost the lowest refund. We have such a low refund rate that consultants that I bring in, they don't believe that that's our refund rate until I show them the actual numbers. So our refund rate, I found if you do a good job for people, people don't refund. I think we should probably not. That diffuser is not that good either. Okay, the next bonus that I'm going to give you, I started, if you want to meet me in person, I started doing basically a world tour. I just finished conference rate 2 days ago. I just finished a conference here in LA for 2 days. I'm going to give you an annual pass, 1 year, like a Disney World pass, that guarantees you a spot in any or all of my my live conferences for 1 year. Guarantees you a spot. You won't have to spend the money. You'll have a VIP spot, and you don't have to. They sell out, so sometimes you can't even get a ticket. So I'm going to give you an annual pass. This is valued at, if you came to all of them, this is worth a lot because we're getting ready to raise the prices on the conference to like $400 or $500 a ticket. So if you get 6 tickets, this is worth like, times 500, and that's VIP tickets you're going to get. Annual VIP pass. This is worth, if you came to 5 events or 4 events in a year at $500, $600, it's worth $2,000 or $3,000. So this is a $3K value you're getting for free. Then the 4th bonus, I'm going to give you something I call the vault. If you can't see this, I'll explain it to you. The vault is everything that I've talked about for the last 4 years that I've kept to myself. I have all these private videos that I did for training my staff and training, doing consulting, and this is the stuff that I trained top level people, guys doing $10 million businesses. I have 100 hours of never before seen videos, and I'm gonna launch it as its own program called the Vault for $10,000. But I'm gonna throw that in as one of the bonuses. Instead of paying 10 grand for 100 hours, and this got a lot. It's funny. Whenever I give this bonus, whenever I've given in the past, people like the Vault more than any part of the program. So there you go. Now, how do you get in? We're gonna reset Facebook right now, and on Facebook, we're gonna put a special link. If you're on my website, we're gonna show a button. On Periscope and Meerkat, we're gonna give you a special link. Somebody says, where is Tai? I am Tai. Do I look different right now? That was funny. People are. So everything I said is included in the $9.97 price. So right now, I'm going to reset Facebook. Hold on 30 seconds, and I'll have a special link. Use this special link, or else it'll show you the $4,000 price. Here we go. I'm going to reset. I'll be back in 1 second.